Hey you guys, this is Kaye with Jonathan and Kaye Wedding Films. This is the first video for our wedding film workshop in Atlanta. And so I'm just going to go straight into this edit here. So I have actually already culled all the footage. I didn't think you guys needed to see me culling footage. This is less of a technical how to edit and more about theory and more about just purpose behind the edit, how to choose, how to build a story, and how to build just the B-roll that you have. So anyways, but I definitely want to show you how I organize my footage. And so we separate cameras between different cameras. Under bride prep is only me and John have a couple of things, and this isn't really anything I want to use, so I just actually went ahead and minimized it. But anyways, so let me just show you. This is all favorited, and so you can see the whole clip here. So if you use Final Cut X, this is totally familiar to you. If you use Adobe or another software, favoriting is just a quick way of culling your footage. So anything that's green is I selected an input and an output and hit F for favorite. And that just helps me get all the shots that may possibly make the film. And so after I go through and select all my favorite points, I can literally only look at the favorites. Okay, so it helps with organization. I don't see any of the garbage footage, which we have a lot of garbage footage in every wedding. It's just normal for us. I think it's normal for anybody. If you are familiar with wedding photography, we used to do wedding photography too. You wouldn't believe like how many pictures are discarded. So many pictures are taken, and you only want the clients to see the best of the best. And that's the same with video as well. So this is how we categorize it. I have bride prep, ceremony B-roll, which apparently, okay, there's some more. Ceremony B-roll, you know, of people arriving and decor and stuff like that. Drone shots, formal dances, which I don't really favorite anything for doc edits. Groom prep, which we did not have a lot of groom prep that day. Portraits, even group portraits are categorized into this, or clumped into this category. Rehearsal dinner toast, we didn't have any favorites in there. That's a doc edit. Here's all the reception cuts, and rehearsal dinner, as well as rehearsal. Okay. And toast was another doc edit, and then some venue decor shots. So that's how we organize everything. I don't want to make you guys watch me cull footage. But I just favorited everything, and these are the shots that will make the film, or that I'll choose as a selection for what will make the film. So I really just kind of want to talk first about the edit, the purpose behind how you lay out your footage, and time shifting, really. I feel like time shifting can be really confusing to a lot of people. And I feel like in my mind, it is so simple, and it's not just a bunch of footage out of order. There's method behind it. And I actually believe firmly that it's all still in order, even though it's jumping around. So I just want to do a quick demonstration for you guys. Let's start with no time shifting and what the film could look like. So let me just grab a couple of shots here that kind of sequence well together. And okay, so let's say maybe some shoe shots. Okay, let me reselect that. It actually knows the order I selected it in, so I want that in the middle. And maybe this shot. Okay, so I can just kind of put this all down here. Oh, that one was long because it was actual letter reading. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to make that really short. And I meant to lift it up just so I could kind of move it around real easy. Okay. So without time shifting, everything is just sequential, and this is super rough, you guys. You saw how fast I did this. So just kind of ignore any shaky footage or bad shots. But everything is just sequential. It is a little predictable. Also, stuff like that, what just happened. Hard cuts will happen. and also what I call teleporting, where a bride or the groom or whoever you're on, this is kind of a teleporting moment. No veil, suddenly a veil. Okay. Or let's see, like from here to here. Okay. How did she get from there to there? You'll have a lot of those if you are editing just really sequential. Let me just pull some groom footage and kind of do the same thing here. Just grab some shots. I guess I'll do this one. Maybe him buttoning. And let me mute. And let me group them together so I can just slide it all together real quickly. Okay, oops. Just real quick. Okay. So same here. It's just like sequential. And let's actually, just for kicks, let's put the music under it. There could be letter reading under here. We'll do dialogue and stuff later, but just for the sake of time shifting, we can kind of see, you know, it could be really beautiful. Again, this is rough footage. There's a little bit, you know, there's jumps. And then we cut over into the groom. And this song might not even be right for this wedding, but just bear with me for a little bit. Okay. And let's just do one more. Let's do some venue details. Okay. So this, okay, I like the wider shot there. And you guys see how crooked that is? That's something that I fix later. I think something might be wrong with our Ronin. I see a lot of crooked stuff from our Ronin. And oh, I like that wide shot. That's actually at the reception, so I don't want to use that yet. And maybe, yeah, our stuff is super crooked. Okay. And just bam, 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 some decor shots. Let me just push these all next to each other real quick. And let me just see if I find more of an exciting piece of music. Part of, okay, it picks up a little bit. Let me just get out of that slow beginning. Okay, so let's just put this forward here just to make this a little bit easier to watch. And I have a point to showing this to you guys. Okay, so we have all this. Let's make it a little bit shorter just to make it a little more bearable. I'm just making the clips shorter, you guys. As you guys are watching. And then we got the groom. It's gonna bother me if I don't get his arm in the jacket. There we go. Now we're on to the decor. Let's actually, I'm just gonna move this around because I don't like the order. I want to show the space. Again, super rough, just real quick for demonstration. Okay, so what I want to point out to you guys is from here, this whole segment here of all the bride stuff is in order. I don't show her in her dress before she gets into her dress, okay? So it's literally, this all stays in order. Everything in all of my categories will stay in order. Same with the groom. This is all in order, and the decor doesn't even really matter. So let me just show you how I throw some stuff in there so that first it's engaging to the viewer, and as well as it breaks up any sort of teleporting moment, where a lot of times what people do with teleporting, it's funny that that's just what I call it. I call it teleporting. You'll see the dress hanging in the window, and the very next shot, the dress is on the bride, or it's getting zipped up on the bride. And I'm like, how did the dress go from on the wall to on the bride? You know, so let's just put a shot in the middle where it gives, you know, the viewer, it's a believable moment where, hey, we stepped away for a second and now we're back, and now the bride is in the dress. So let's just see where we can find some cuts like that, and we'll just fill it in with either decor or groom footage. So all that sequences well together. Now she's suddenly getting into her dress. Let me just come over here, and these two sequence well perfectly together because he's messing with his tie. So let me just grab these two shots. And something else I want to note, I didn't put it over far enough. Something else I want to note is pay attention when you're filming. You want to film for sequences. So here I got her opening it from the back, you know, from this shot, and I also got the front of her, and that sequences well together. Also, I mean, you can see the other shots that I got. You know, she's sitting here reading it, and I just kind of, I mean, I only have the 3 shots here, but that's all I need for this little letter reading. But when you're filming, get different angles for the sequence. So a minimum of 2 different shots creates a sequence. Okay, so this right here is a mini sequence. So we cut from here. Now she's getting into her dress. We cut away for a second to helps the viewer believe that she got up and got her dress to put it on. All that sequences well, okay. That shot is blurry and shaky, so just try to ignore that. But this here works as a sequence. Actually, just for my own sanity, let's get rid of that because it's blurry. And let me just get rid of that little jerk there. So that could all sequence together, but not that, okay? So there's a jump here. So we could also come back in with, so there's no sequence here. There's only one shoe shot. And shoe shots are not even like, unless he does have cool socks, I guess. There's something, I think maybe it's, I don't know, Abraham Lincoln. I don't know what the point is. If there's cool socks, shoe shots are cool. But I'm not even crazy about this shoe shot. Let me just get rid of it. And so here's a jump for him. He's putting his vest on, and suddenly he has his jacket on. So let's put that between these two so that there's a believable gap. We can make that a little bit longer. But what I don't like is having only one clip and then cutting back to the bride. So let's grab some decor stuff over here, and any of this will sequence together fine. We can start with the wide shot to kind of show where we are, and zoom in a little bit, and we zoom in a little bit to see some detail. So we bring all of these as a little sequence after this shot. Back to the bride. So, I feel like this actually works because the sister's putting on the shoes, and she could technically be doing that while the mom, I don't know. This is kind of a jump, but it doesn't really feel like it when you're watching it. So I think that's going to be okay. But there's a jump. I feel like from there to there doesn't really work. So we can cut back to the groom finishing getting ready. Let's just go ahead and get it over his shoulders. I don't like the struggle There's always a struggle when guys get their jackets on. We don't want to show the struggle. So we can show a little bit of him. Now she's getting her earrings on. And so that's kind of a jump cut here. And then so we can just put these two in the middle. Okay, so that's essentially how I put my B-roll together. Okay, let me close my messages. So that's essentially how I put my B-roll together. There will be elements of the story when we put out the what am I trying to say? We're going to put story together with the sound bites. We're going to take stuff from ceremony audio, toast audio, rehearsal dinner toast audio, letter readings. Okay, those are going to be jam-packed into this film, but the overlaying B-roll shots is going to go through a very similar process as what I just showed you. So let me change music because this is just not working for me. So I will be right back. Okay, switched out the music, you guys, for something that I like a lot better that I think will work for the final film. So, I think that'll be pretty. So, okay, I'm not actually keeping this. I just wanted to show you guys how simple time shifting can be and kind of where it is good to insert clips from different parts of the day, you know, so you don't have these jump cuts and you don't have like teleporting people everywhere. So let me just get rid of this and let me just start from the very beginning of what I do for our wedding film. So the very first thing I do is I choose the music and I lay out sound bites throughout the day. So what I do first is I lay out, I kind of start like just how I am right now. I've got all my sound bites and I have my music. So the first thing I do is I want to lay out my music in a way that flows. It creates a build and ends on a high note or high paced song for the reception. So I generally like starting kind of slow and soft and romantic, and then I ramp up a little bit, and then I might slow back down. Then I'll have a build, and then it just goes even bigger for the reception. And if you look here, all of these songs laid out is going to be like 14 minutes. We're not going to make a 14-minute long film. I'm going to just use the sections of the songs that I like. Once it's trimmed up, then I'll make it to 6 to 8 minutes. And who knows, it might only be 2 songs. It might only be 3 songs. Maybe I'll use all the songs and just use really short segments. So it's all about what I feel connected to and what I can visualize with certain parts of the songs. I think it's okay to have maybe the first part being slower before the guitar. I want to find at the beginning of the phrase. I don't know even what you would call that. I mean, minored in music, so I should know the name of that, but I don't. Okay, that sounds like a beginning right there. That's what I'm looking for. And maybe that's all I use. Because it's pretty repetitive. Okay, I'm just going to kind of, so my thought is I have rehearsal dinner footage that I need to put in. And the rehearsal dinner, I don't want to show you the toast. I want to show you the actual footage of the dinner. It's outside. It's cute. I've got some great shots of cows, apparently. Just like it's like a picnic atmosphere. It's a little more casual. So I wanted something a little more upbeat for this segment. And so I'm going to have something sweet and serious, like one of the letter readings or just one of beginning of the ceremony. I don't even know yet. I'm going to have some sort of just meaningful soundbite here. And then we're going to go back to the rehearsal dinner. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that without it feeling like completely backwards. Okay, so anytime the song dips, anytime it's low or soft, like before it picks up, like anytime it kind of drops, like it's a verse and not a chorus kind of thing, that's usually a great spot for soundbite, for toasts or whatever it might be. So right here, I just picture somebody talking. As soon as it goes to that hit, then I see it coming out of the soundbite and just going into just watching the footage.
Sounds right.
And so we come over here, it's going to drop it in. It'd be a great time for another soundbite. This is what I literally do, you guys. I pick the songs that I like, and then I just wait for a moment in the song that is a good spot to put a soundbite. That's another one. And since this song is 3 minutes long or so, I'm probably just gonna cut it and scoot it over. Because I like this end. I like the end. I like how that kind of builds up. Okay, and you guys definitely, like, I'm kind of already doing more like finalizing steps, you know, when I'm still, I should be in the discovery period of my music still. But I'm pretty set. I'm pretty sure I'm going to want this song. But let me just kind of lay things out. So we start off slow. Picks up. What do we have next? A little slow again. And I think that's great for all the custom vowels that we have. We have these letters. We have really sweet first looks. So what I'm looking for at this point in the film, once we're about 3 songs in, depending on how long you stay on a film or stay on a song, I'm thinking about, okay, we're probably in the film, we're probably at the ceremony, and there's gonna be a point when the bride walks down the aisle. And I want the point where the bride is revealed, whether she's coming out of a door, she's going down the aisle, whatever it is. I want that to be a big moment in the film. So I want that to be built up and have like a big musical moment when that happens. And so it's okay that this starts slow, but I want to make sure this song has a build.
Right. Sounds right. Sounds right.
So that is definitely the perfect type of hit for a big moment. Now, I don't know if this song is going to be perfect for this film because just knowing the couple, she's a country singer. They're very outdoorsy. I'm kind of thinking this should be more folky, kind of like this rehearsal dinner. It's not even too folky. I don't usually go 100% folk. This just hasn't been my style. I love it when other people do it. Maybe I just don't have enough couples or clients where I feel like that's a really great fit. But I feel like this song in theory works for what I need, and I'll put it here for now. And then if I say, oh my gosh, I'm putting the footage together, I'm like, oh, this song just does not fit, and then I'll just go ahead and change it. But it's fine to have it as a placeholder because I can start building the story, I can start building the B-roll, and it's not actually that hard to change out songs later when you're closer to finalizing it. So toasts that happen at the reception don't have to be like the sound bites don't have to happen during the film when the reception's happening, if that makes sense. It can go anywhere. It's a soundbite. It's part of the story. It's going to be part of the flow of all the dialogue, and that's going to be okay no matter where you put it. Transitions with the music and stuff will help navigate where to put it, but it really doesn't matter where you put the dialogue or the sound bites. So really just kind of follow what you feel like the story needs. A lot of times toasts will come together telling one part of the story, and then another part of the day will tell another part of the story. Put those together, make those work together. You don't have to do things sequentially when it comes to dialogue. Okay, what needs to make sense is the flow of what everybody's saying. So that's what you want to focus on with the dialogue. So right now I'm just going to think about, let me just go ahead and put the, is there a clip here? Let me just go ahead and put this whole segment here, because I'm doing this even though I just said you don't have to do things together with the footage, but this music with like the little folkiness with the outside rehearsal footage, I kind of wanted all this together because of the look. It's all outdoors, they're all casual. It is a little confusing when you're using rehearsal dinner footage mixed in with wedding day footage because people are wearing jeans, the bride's not wearing her dress, and so it can be a little confusing. So I do like keeping rehearsal dinner stuff together. Other than that, if it's on the wedding day, I feel like it's fair game. It can kind of go anywhere. I'm thinking right now about the very beginning. How do I want it to start? Do I want it to start with a vow?
Who would have thought a loud, southern-born girl who doesn't stop talking would fall in love with a sometimes mute New Yorker? You, my love, have completely changed my life. From the day
I mean, honestly, what she's saying here, I feel like is a great setup to the whole wedding film. She gave just a brief recap. It was cute and funny.
I saw you eating wings to now standing in front of me on our...
Maybe not that part at the beginning. We also have the letter here. Let's see what we have here.
Yeah, I'll be able to read it. To me for a long time that this is where we would end up. True.
When you're looking for the very first thing that opens your film, you want something that'll hook the audience. You want it to be really engaging, really beautiful. Some of your best out of the whole day should be at the beginning. That'll really engage the viewer. They see the quality immediately of the film, and it gets them engaged, wants them to watch more. If you start out with, we are gathered here today to see such and such get married, people might probably most likely click off of it. Unless it's really beautiful, they'll keep watching because it's really beautiful. But unless it's unique to the couple, people are probably going to be less engaged because it sounds so generic. All right, so this is also really unique here. This would be really cool too.
Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for Tom. I thank you that you thought of me when you made him, and you thought of him, and you thought of me when you made him, and you thought of him as you made me.
Okay, it's really
Thank you for
sweet.
this day. Thank you for each other. Thank you for the path that you created for us to bring.
I think it's really beautiful, really sweet. So we don't need to start with the dad first look, and we don't need to start with grandpa and brother first look either. So I think the vows were great. I didn't even listen to his yet, but I think I love what she says. So let's just go ahead and put that up at the beginning. You have to be careful with dialogue. I do think a lot of what people say can be distracting. Maybe how they say it can be distracting. It kind of takes you out of the moment, and you don't want anything to be distracting from the film. You don't want the viewer to be distracted. You don't want them thinking about something else, or kind of thinking like, oh, that was kind of weird, or that was kind of awkward. You want to take all of those, anything awkward, anything distracting needs to be eliminated from your film.
Tom.
And let me just go ahead and put a compressor on this. It boosts low levels, and controls high levels. It kind of tries to even out the levels in audio. So we put a compressor on everything.
Tom. Who would have thought a loud, southern-born girl who doesn't stop talking would fall in love with a sometimes mute New Yorker? You, my love, have completely changed my life. From the day I saw you eating wings to now standing in front of me on our wedding day.
Okay, so you guys know what I think? The music does not fit at all with her spunk, with what she's saying, with her excitement. It does not fit. Honestly, I feel like the only thing that we have here that matches that song might be the prayers.
Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for Tom. I thank you that you thought of me when you made him. Of him, and you thought of me when you made him, and you thought of him.
Okay, already that fits so much better. Just kind of like the mood totally fits.
As you made me, and I thank you for creating the perfect man in your image in every aspect, from head to toe to heart to soul. And I thank you for allowing him to love me and giving him to love me and allowing his heart to love me for who I am.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm like 30 seconds in the film and I'm already crying. Okay, so that's a hook. That's a hook. So I can cut to these, and I also plan on putting some establishing shots, anything to kind of paint the picture of where they're at and what's going on and what this is all about. So, which is obviously a wedding day. So I will get to the B-roll later. Whew. So I'm just trying to feel what I see next happening. Okay, so let me just go ahead. You know what? This little intro is just 30 seconds long. And let me fade this out sooner. And we'll bring this guy in. Let's see. We want there to be a little bit of an overlap. When I have a song transition, I still want there to be some dialogue.
Thank you. Your only precious name. Amen.
Let me just start that a little bit later.
Amen.
See, that's cute. Okay, so what she does is cute, and we go into some cute music. Okay.
Sounds good.
Just gonna kind of feel out where the toast should be.
I think most of us here know enough about Braley that if...
Okay, so I think it should start where the voices start. Or right after. Here we go.
I'd here know enough about Braley that if somebody was to ask you, what do you think about, like, what do you think of when you think of Braley? You would say, she's crazy, she's silly, she's so much fun, she's that crazy person in the room. But
keep in mind, while you're listening to this, or I should say, while I'm listening to what she's saying, I see B-roll of Braley. Like, we need to be seeing Braley acting silly and acting goofy, or just fun footage while we are listening to this toast.
Well, good evening and welcome to the wedding of Tom Howard and Braley Linderman. Tonight, into this sacred union, Tom and Braley now come to be joined. Let's bow our heads and pray.
We don't have to have the prayer part in there. So I think that fits really well. I like, as scripted and traditional as it is, I do like having that in there. That's a preference. You don't have to have it in there. This film would honestly be fine without it. But for now, I just kind of want to keep it in there.
Who would have thought a loud, southern-born girl who doesn't stop talking would fall in love with a sometimes mute New Yorker. You, my love, have completely changed my life. From the day I saw you eating wings to now standing in front of me on our wedding day. I have 1,000,001 promises I could give you, but I'll narrow it down, and I did.
Now we also have like letters, okay? It's like, all right, did I blow past too far? Like we're at the ceremony, we're at the vows. Let me go over to the letters.
I'll always support you, respect you, and be thankful that you are mine. If these first 5+ years are any kind of a sign, I know we are going to have an amazing life together.
Yeah, I think that's really great. And I trimmed those way down. So, and I don't know if I really want these back to back. This is something I'm just going to leave here because when I start laying out the B-roll, I'll have more of an idea of where I want it and where it would fit well. So I can't forget about first looks too. I don't think I pulled those over. Oh, okay, here we go. I'll just place these in here and see if they fit. Okay, like after I start placing B-roll, I'll just see what I can do. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Coming from a producer standpoint again. Just slide this down a little bit. And I mean, this is like the 8-minute mark, so I'm trying to keep my film here and shorter. So we've got this really nice emotional start of that moment. We've got rehearsal toast. We come into the ceremony, a little snippet of the vow. We come back to the letters because we're going to be seeing them getting ready during all this. Then she's ready. Then we see first look, and then we see another first look, and then vows. I think that would make the most sense.
Gives the bride to be married.
Her mother-in-law.
I think I grabbed the wrong audio source for this. I'm going to have to change audio sources. Normally I put this... Oh yeah, I said after the father-daughter. We'll see how that fits in with the B-roll. I don't know. I like putting stuff like this together. Kind of creates a little daddy moment in the film. Make a little space there. Now, for the vows, we got all this, and we got this much space. Thinking Grandpa's gonna have to go. I can still put in this as B-roll, but maybe I don't need like the whole moment. I'm gonna cut it. I'm just gonna put in B-roll of her giving her grandpa a good old hug and her brother. So I'll try to include that in B-roll. I just want to give as much attention to these vows as possible. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of piece together what I feel like I want to be seeing, as well as what makes sense for like cutaways and stuff. So from here to here, this whole thing is sequential. Yes, I put in some drone shots to kind of paint the picture of where we are, but the sequencing is sequential. He's walking up to her and comes and holds her hand, okay? Same thing here. Even though it's a different time of day, this part is sequential. We bring the viewer in, and now she's on her bed. Wedding films, or the way we edit this time shifting thing, is a bunch of groups of sequences that are in order, that are interweaved with other sequences that are also in order. Okay, does that make sense? I tried showing you guys the demonstration of just putting some clips at the very beginning, putting them together to show time shifting, but this is when it really starts layering on top of each other, and I think this is where some people get confused and it seems random, but as you can see here, it's not random. I took you on a visual story. It's not scrubbing for some reason. I took you guys on a visual story here and also another visual story here. And so that's what we're going to be doing through the whole film. So I'm just going to lay this down, and I'm just going to put it way over here and then group it together and then just bring all this over here. So this won't affect anything below it, and I'll just start trimming away at the B-roll. What I'm going to do now, so since this is a from beginning to end essentially sequence, I can create another beginning to end sequence with bride prep or groom prep and weave it in here. Let me make sure that's 60. I think I shot everything in 60 with the bride prep. I always shoot bride prep in 60 because there's so many chaotic moments that you might miss. Like you might have a really beautiful shot that only lasts half a second. And I ran into that too many times, and so I just started shooting everything with the bride prep in slow motion.
I
It's
think
helped a
most of us
lot.
here know. What do you think about, like, what do you think of when you think of Braylee? You would say, she's crazy, she's silly, she's so much fun, she's that crazy person in the room. But there's things that you get to learn about Braylee when...
And it makes sense, you know, she's talking about Braylee. I kind of want to see Braylee, you know?
You get to learn about Braylee when you walk side by side with her in life. And her big old heart, man, she loves with everything. And when she found Tom, I remember the first time she...
Okay, so already I feel like it's working. I don't know if you guys see it as well.
And her big old heart, man, she...
Let me just grab these three together as a sequence.
And when she found Tom, I remember the first time she said she met Hot Tom. I remember the first time she said...
Beautiful. That's the beautiful shot. So these are pretty similar, and I choose this one over this one.
Found Tom. I remember the first time she said...
See, she grabbed and missed, so let me get that where she...
I remember the first time she said she met Hot Tom.
Okay, we haven't... Okay, we did see the toaster. Okay, I didn't close that gap. That's good. But it would be kind of cool when she's talking about Hot Tom, that's his nickname, to see the bride and groom reaction for the toast. We haven't seen them yet.
Time she said she met Hot Tom. I know Braylee.
Okay, no reaction? Really?
She's one of a kind, and she needed one of a kind.
Seriously? I thought they would laugh. Oh man, I could make them laugh. I can find a shot where they laugh. I mean, that would be cute right there. Okay. So the audio was like attached to this clip. So I'm just moving it out of the way. And
She met Hot Tom.
where's that cute little moment? There's a laugh. There it is. You guys, we can create whatever we want, right? We're editors.
She met Hot Tom. I know. First time she said she met Hot Tom. I know Braylee.
Hey, that looked natural, right? I like that.
I know Braylee. She's one of a kind, and she needed one of a kind.
So let's go back to prep because I just feel like every time she talks about Braylee, I just want to see Braylee getting ready.
I know Braylee. She's one of a kind. She's one of a kind, and she needed one of a kind.
We transition at the end of the toast.
Career path that she is going to excel at. A safe haven to come home to, especially with the career path that she is going to excel at.
Okay, so it's a serious note here, serious song, and we're gonna get more romantic.
Tom, hi babe. Actually, I'm really writing this on our wedding day. I'm sitting in my white robe, socks, and on the floor. Today,
I love that visual. I wish I had her in that. I wish I had that.
really writing this on our wedding day. I'm sitting in my white robe, socks, and on the floor.
The reason I can't keep it in is because I can't show it. Like, it's so visual. Like, I can't show these shots, you know? I don't know.
Writing this on our wedding day. Today is the best day of our lives. Since I met you, you have kept my world spinning. You walk in the room and everything feels better. I think it's crazy that when God made me, he knew he was creating you.
Okay, I've collected the B-roll footage for the ceremony processional, which is, I think, everything that I needed. But I had some time to step away, which is so, so important when you feel stumped creatively. And I realized what I needed to do to help me elongate my footage. I decided I needed to go ahead and start showing shots of them together.
Today is the best day of our lives. Since I met you, you have kept my world spinning. You walk in the room and everything feels better.
So that's nice. You walk in the room, everything feels better. Now we're still doing prep stuff here. So let me scoot this down.
Feels better, and everything feels better. I think it's crazy that when God made me, he knew he was creating you.
So now we have this that we could cut to, people arriving and pre-ceremony footage.
Braylee, today is our big day. It's hard to believe that it's finally here, and it's been clear to me for a long time that this is where we would end up. You are carrying.
Let's see.
That you are mine. If these first 5+ years are any that you are mine. If these first 5+ years are any kind of a sign, I know we're going to have an amazing life together.
So I just think this shot is so pretty, and I don't even really need to see her reading. If you look at the letter, I feel like there's scribbles on it too. I feel like that's a little distracting, and so let's just go straight for the beauty shot, which is this, her just reading it to herself. I think it's totally great. And so now we can do the first look with the girls.
Life together.
Who gives the bride to be married?
Her mother.
Who gives the bride?
So I think it helps to hear the audio before you see it. And so I'm letting this fade out. I
Who gives the bride to be married?
feel like it could go even longer.
Who gives the bride to be married?
Her mother.
Of course, then we miss, let's see.
Who gives the bride to be married?
Her mother.
So this is a continuation of bride prep. Okay, so we went from bride prep to the bridesmaid saw to now the dad's first look. So this isn't like a completely random piece. I feel like it flows well having seen this into this next segment here.
Tom. Tom. Who would have thought a loud, southern-born girl who doesn't stop talking in love with a sometimes mute New Yorker?
So this just takes us away for a second as a viewer.
Tom. Who would have thought a loud, southern-born girl who doesn't stop talking would fall in love with a sometimes mute New Yorker? You, my love.
So here we can start with the girls'
Yorker.
pictures. Okay, I'm gonna switch these two because she's being loud here.
A loud, southern-born girl who doesn't stop talking would fall in love with a sometimes mute New Yorker. You, my love, have completely changed my life. From the day I saw you eating wings to now standing in front of me on our wedding day.
Okay, so we could actually put possibly a portrait next to them. Okay, so this would be a good place for portraits. Okay, so what I feel like could happen here is the processional starts. And we'll mix in the rest of these portraits and reception shots. Let me just go ahead and just stick this in here. And I believe this is processional. Okay, so I didn't put any of the portraits in there. I still wonder if I could to give like this really cool like montage-y beauty moment. So that's fine. Now I gotta go find a reception song. But I could go ahead and put the pronouncement right here.
Okay, Tom, now you may kiss your bride.
Okay, so since I wanted to incorporate some beautiful bride shots in the film, I haven't actually put them in yet. I went ahead and just grabbed the shots that I want to make sure that are in the film. And I feel like the beginning, as powerful as it is with the prayer, I feel like visually there's not enough pretty. And so I think this would be a great time to just kind of sprinkle in some beautiful bride shots. So I just kind of want to see how this works.
Me.
So the problem with this shot is the acne on her chin or her jawline. I don't think I can hide that.
I thank you that you thought.
And so let's just try to start maybe right here. So this really just is its own little dream sequence, you know? It's like that we cut back to over and over. Let me just watch this again.
Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for Tom. I thank you that you thought of me when you made him. And I thank you for creating.
I kind of wonder if I can still show
I thank you.
this portrait. So we got a couple different things going on here, but I'm trying to keep them.
I thank you that you thought of me when you made him. And I thank you for creating the perfect man in your image in every aspect, from head to toe to heart to soul. And I thank you for allowing him to love me who I am unconditionally. One day I'll be able to ask you why I deserved him so much. I love you, and I love Tom, and I love this day. And thank you. Your only precious name. Amen.
All right. Did I just put all my magic portraits all at the front? Does that work? I don't know if it works. I mean, in theory, it should work. There's still a little bit of a story sequence, and it's just a little bit of a montage at the beginning of I'm trying to parallel kind of things that she's saying. If she's talking about herself or him, I'm trying to show that.
Allowing him to love me and giving him to love me for who I am, unconditional.
I'm still trying to show him walking up,
I love you, and I love Tom, and I love
doing their little prayer corner thing. I think that works, you guys. And I'm sorry, I've changed the beginning like 5 times. If I have, like, I just knew I wanted the beginning to be really special, and I just wanted to keep reworking it until it felt right. So I'm going to leave it alone for now. I say for now, hopefully it stays the same. And once I start finalizing it and color grading it, I mean, that's a big part. A lot of it feels disjointed because it's not color graded, but once it all matches, it might just be just like this really beautiful, hopefully it's just really beautiful, cohesive segment of the film. Okay, so I got a song from Song Freedom that could work for the dancing segment. But so what I look for, which I've mentioned before, is I look for the dips where you know, dialogue could go. And then so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this over where the dialogue will fit right there, and as soon as dialogue ends, it ramps up.
It's definitely an understatement.
Okay, and that might not even be the right one because we've got another option over here. It's kind of the same, but we don't have, this would bring the film to 10 minutes. We want it to just be an 8-minute film. So I am gonna just pull this over. And it's not necessarily quiet beforehand. I mean, I can just bring it down, but the fact that there's a hit here makes that perfect for the end of a dialogue piece. And then if we continue, we'll be at 8 minutes and 30 seconds, but I hope to trim that down a little bit. All right, so I don't know if we have time for the cookie shot, and something else I'll do probably is put in some dancing footage in the middle of this, like weave it into this segment too, like reception dancing. I'll probably make their film a little longer instead of cutting it too short. But let's just get to filling this up with the strongest reception shots that we have. So let me just start kind of plugging away. I'm just gonna kind of insert these. Now let me see real quick if I want dancing in here. So let's have 2 shots, so it's just not too quick. Actually, let's just take this out, but we got the feeding. And let's go back to some more dancing maybe. Or band is fine too. All right, so I feel like this video I've just been forgetting to put things in. So I totally forgot to put in the bridal party pictures, which are just really cute. Don't want to leave it out. So I'm wondering, like, in a spot that I feel like could have used some separating, which honestly was probably over here, because we jumped from straight from ceremony. So let's see what we could fit in here. Just maybe a walking shot. Maybe just those 3 shots. Okay. It's just 3 shots that I left out. Actually, I might want a little bit of audio if I keep it real time. So let's see. Like, it's okay to, I'm kind of staggering, you know, this clip from that clip. So it's kind of giving us like a little bit of a cutaway. And she looks behind her anyways in this clip. I didn't really like that, so we can actually cut away from that. So let me condense these a little bit. We're gonna have an intro shot.
Really. It has always been very easy for me to tell that you were going to be the one for Tom. What really sold me was the way Tom has always spoken about you when you're not around. Whenever we went our separate ways after grad school, we would...
So let's actually have both of these here. If I can get them next to each other.
When you're not around. Whenever we went...
See if we can hear any cheering.
Whenever we went our separate ways after grad school...
I'm just gonna go ahead and extend the natural audio.
Went our separate ways after grad school, we would occasionally talk on the phone, and when I'd ask about you, the tone of his voice would change.
Actually, I like going from there to the wide shot.
I'd ask
That
you,
makes
the tone of
sense to
his
me.
voice.
But, okay, maybe this isn't the best shot because it's a little shaky. So, we go from here to here, there. Oh, we got 2 shots like that, so that's not good. Let's see. I want to keep, maybe we don't need 2 wide or 2 Ronin shots.
And when I'd ask about you, the tone of his voice would change. And not only could I tell that he deeply loved you.
Okay, so the photographer starts coming in here. So we could actually scoot this over to cover the photographer.
Change. And not only could I tell that he deeply loved you and cared about you, but he also was extremely proud
So
about you. But he also was extremely proud of you and the person you're becoming. From the very first moment that you from the very first moment that you came into the picture, to this very day, to say that Tom is smitten over you is definitely an understatement.
okay, I think all that works, all that little shifting and adjustment works way better than what I had before. I felt like I was missing something. I felt like normally I stagger footage more during that, and so now it makes me feel a little bit better. And then I'm going to add the title card. I've already made it. Let's see.
And I love this day. And thank you. Your only precious name. And then.
You can actually cut that out.
And then. Whew.
Okay, that's really cute. All right. On to finalizing.